Hello, Owlet community, and welcome to another matchup. This time, we've got stage playoffs between King's Throw and Otter Oxide, and really, this match could be a toss-up between both of them.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen these two teams go up against each other before. King's Throw has taken it against Otter Oxide, but there have been a whole slew of matches this stage leading up to these semifinals that have suggested that this, in not only their own match, but all the other surrounding matches have been such a toss up this exciting stage three. So I'm excited to see them play.
Definitely. I mean, the number one seed going into the playoffs is already out. They got 3-0'd by Aces, and this is the other matchup, which, again, you said we saw this a few days ago, maybe a week ago, where King's Throw actually beat Otter Oxide, but I really think it could go either way. Both of these teams are on the up. They seem that they could both, exchange blows. Otter Oxide's a very structured team. King's Throw is a very talented team. And, I mean, it could be really either or. It looks like first map is going to be Oasis. Evan, who do you think can win the first map?
What I'm looking for on Oasis is, does King's Throw try their patented Rein Zarya? Because you would hear it from them all the time. Oh, when a new patch comes out that makes Rein Zarya slightly playable again, are they going to keep running it? And honestly, from watching King's Throw, I'm not sure they're going to come out on the Rein Zarya, but I want to see if they do decide to run on the Rein. Are they going to find a lot of success in Oasis, or do they resort to more mobile comps? And on the flip side, for Otter Oxide, are they looking to utilize dive, or are they just going to stick with the tried and true double shield rush down type compositions that have been seeing them a lot of success in stage 3?
Yeah, and actually, King's Throw recently has moved along from their completely non-meta ways. I've seen lock Orisa and either Reinhardt or Sigma double shield quite a lot. Looks like they're trying to make their advance into this meta, and we are starting to go into the map now.
Yeah. I'm looking on either side to see what style they really just start to settle into. And maybe on King's Throw, be a little bit concerned that Otter Oxide has a lot more experience with the more meta compositions, but King's Throw has been showing that they are probably one of the, if not the best teams in stage 3, and going into the season playoffs, they're a real threat to look out for.
Yeah, they came up from the bottom of the standings, and now they're a real competitor for the season championships. Otter Oxide's a very structured team. They pull off a lot of combos, and I think King's Throw has a lot of raw talent on their team that they can put.
So looking into the compositions they have chosen, there might be some troll picks here, but it seems that Otter Oxide is going to be opting for a more poke style composition, maybe trying to control the high ground, control a potential fair in the skies, whereas King's Throw looks like they're going to be trying more rush down, get some shield break going.
Yeah, Hanzo Doom is a very interesting choice for the DPS duo. Nothing really to deal with the Pharah or the McCree, but see how it goes.
Absolutely.
Let's see, so we got both teams are going around through the hallways to point. King's Throw is going for the high ground here. Alfredo almost gets booped off and manages to keep his balance. Jaeger is in the back already with the Pharah spam, and there goes Shadow Dragon. Chicken also goes down, Simple's down, and that's a pretty clean fight for the side of Otter Oxide.
So dangerous for King's Throw. They were trying to get Simple up on the high ground, maybe start controlling some of the fight tempo, but Pulse with the pulls, getting the first Jaeger with the concussive rocket, and then Pulse with a pull that actually does get Jumpy Wizard. He had 2 close calls, but ends up getting pulled off in the end, and it's all down. When your Baptiste is gone, just reset.
Yeah, it looks like Chicken was going for a flank. He thinks better of it. Here comes King's Throw. They're rushing in. The Reinhardt's not really able to do much here. Just holding the shield up, hoping that side of Otter Oxide has to drop, and they do, because the point was about to get capped. Fair is just raining the damage in, almost at that barrage already. Although actually he just gets taken down with Simple, so that's the major damage. It's out. There goes the immortality field. It's already gone. That didn't see much use. Otter Oxide is going to have to keep backing up, and Alfredo is going in with the hammer. He's getting so much done. But down goes Simple. It's even on both sides, except there goes Alfredo too with the use of the Amp Matrix, absolutely shredding him. Panda does take down Pulse, but he gets rezzed immediately, and it still looks like Otter Oxide is taking this fight, except King's Throw is still here. They are still trying to keep on the point, but there goes Jaeger. He is back, and he is raining the damage from away.
Such a good job of controlling the tempo and kiting back from the Otter's poke composition. You saw at the start, Alfredo holding his shield up, trying to keep his team alive, but they were getting poked down, and really it was only a fight because Simple killed Jaeger off very quickly, and from there it was just stall, and Otter Oxide doing such a fantastic job of just kiting back and letting the damage just collect.
Yeah, but here comes the bongo from the side of Otter Oxide. Shield's already down. It looks like Jaeger is going for barrage. He's waiting for them to push in. Here it goes. Takes down Shadow Dragon and Panda. Gets taken down himself. It's still winnable for King's Throw if they can push in, but now that they're down 2, I don't think it will be. We just gotta reset, go next, and hope that they can get this last fight going. Last fight is actually gonna start soon. They only have 12 seconds to get back to the point with the full team. Shadow Dragon's making the swap over to the Moira in hopes to get there faster.
And I don't think they're gonna get a good fight, LazerBlitz.
I don't think so either. It looks like Lucio's running up the touch point and he gets there. And here comes a hook from Panda on the Pulse. But there goes Kirk 1. Panda has made it out, or sorry, Pulse has made it out perfectly fine. They got the shields up, they got the damage draining in. They're on King's Throws on Rhine and Hog. Not exactly for this combo. He actually does get a shatter on the CO and charges him. But in comes the Sigma ult. He is not going to live through that, and neither will Chicken. And this looks like Otter Oxide taking it 99 or 100 to 0.
Just a brutal slam down by Viper at the end to end their hopes. It was a good shatter and a valiant effort, but unfortunately the ultimate's just coming in too clutch for Otter Oxide. The aggressive use of the supercharger there is quite interesting with their poke composition, because it's just Otter's telling them, before you can even get in, we're going to put down the bongo and just erase all of your resources, so you have to come to us. That's what Otter's have been doing that entire first map, is just challenging them to come to them, and King's Throw haven't been responding very well yet. So I'm excited to see the changes they make coming into the second objective.
Is that a Genji I see?
It is a Genji you see.
On both sides?
On both. Oh boy. Well, folks, we have Genji and Owlet in the semifinals. I'm excited to see how
versus Genji McCree. And also, actually, if you look over at King's Throw, they're on dive. Looks like they're taking control of the high ground. They get pulled off and booped away immediately. There goes Alfredo's jump. He ends up jumping into the wall. Chicken takes down Seal Gully immediately though, and that's a really big pick because there goes a lot of their anti-dive potential. And King's Throw is moving forward on them, just decimating the rest of the Otters as they take first fight.
What a clean job of taking the high ground away from them and taking all of any positional advantage that Otter Oxide was looking to get. And as I say that, Panda gets demeched and Chicken goes down. So there's a
Chicken goes
chance.
real deep for that kill.
There's a chance for Otters to come back into this, but King's Throw is just looking to control the high ground, and against this composition, and you see Jaeger swapping over to the Reaper to have more anti-dive potential, so the Reaper and McCree can help with that.
Yeah, Tank's hopefully not getting shredded. It comes Simple with a dash. He's trying to build up that blade as fast as he can. He gets stunned. He is really low, and there's a huge anti, but Simple goes down, and the immortality field is out. Alfredo's trying to get as much as he can done, but he has to back out before he dies. Reaper's swooping up to him, and Otters are now making their way onto the point. In comes a nano on Alfredo, and he's gonna hopefully just jump in, but in comes a high noon. Panda comes in to save his life with the defense matrix, but has to die for it. Chicken takes on Jumpy Wizard. Jaeger finishes off Panda fully, and Alfredo is gone as well, so that's both tanks gone for the side of King's Throw, and it looks like they're slowly falling. They can try and stall the point. They've got two supports and a Genji alive. Hopefully just get as much percent as they can. They're over 50, and there goes the cat range.
So Otters did, with the use of the high noon from Siagoli, to draw the D.Va, to draw Panda into going and DMing it, and then quickly focusing him down while leaving Alfredo just on his own, is honestly a great way for the anti-dive to come through. And you saw it in beautiful effect there. Now, we should be looking to see the use of the blade. Are they going to use it without nano on the side of King's Throw?
Yeah, they are down the nano as they used it on Alfredo last time. Didn't get as much value. Alfredo does have his ult though, so he built it up off that. And here comes his blade. He gets stunned immediately. He charges in the back though. He actually gets Shinky and is still alive. Surprisingly, Genji has lived through his blade. Actually, no, I lied. He has died. But he did get a lot of value out of it, except CO Gully is saying no, he does not want this fight to end here. The beat comes in from Kirk 1. It's really both sides. But Kirk 1 and Shadow Dragon are the only people left alive. It's two supports versus a DPS and a tank. And in comes Shinky. He is back on the Lucio. It's still, trades are still going, but this fight right now is still, the point is still in the favor of Otters. And it looks like they're getting more people to come back. They're still trading, but with Otters' point percentage going up, this is not looking good for King's Throw, especially since they're still trickling in. And Panda is now on the point. I don't know if they're hoping to get a fight win here. It might be really difficult. Here comes the... Oh, there goes two of them. CO Gully goes down, but that is not going to matter. Maybe it will, actually. This fight is insanely long. going both ways. Down goes Jumpy Wizard. Chicken is trying to carry this team right now. Bongo comes down. Jaeger gets 2. That's got to be the end of it now.
Yeah, Jaeger just puts his foot down at the end of it. This ridiculous like stagger fight coming out from King's Throw. Now we did see the blade come out, but just the beat from Kurt coming out a little bit too late to save the tanks. Just only one support left, and everyone else that was getting cleaned up was so far away it didn't even matter in the first place. So this is probably looking to be last fight territory for King's Throw. Maybe look to see the Nano Monkey come out. Other than that, they don't have a lot to work
does
with.
still have his ult. He has a lot of self-sustain he can keep himself alive with. They're now onto the point. Alfredo is jumping in, and here comes the ult from him. Nanoed and using his ult. He is going to be really invincible, but he is on the ground, not actually with them. He can take down Steel Billy, though, and that's going to be a really big pick again. Most of that anti-dive material is gone. He can use the Meteor Strike onto the Sigma, and he comes down for a lot of damage. He takes down Jumpy Wizard. Alfredo goes down in the meantime. Still a back and forth fight. Panda is just raining the damage into Pulse. Shadow Dragon is down though. It's the Winston and the Ana down for King's Throw. And really, I think it's even still. It could go either way. Chicken is popping off though on this Doomfist. He has taken down the Reaper. Again, 1-for-1 trade. Down goes Panda's mech. And it looks like it's still 3-on-3 here on the point. Tracer now out for CO Gully. To hope the test. Panda is still alive on that baby diva. There goes Chicken. There goes their major damage and their major pick potential. And in comes a beat for King's Throw. They're trying to keep it alive. Obviously, this last fight, they throw everything into it. Here comes another bomb from Panda. Maybe it can get something magic. Simple takes down CO Gully with the Dragon, which is really good for them. And this fight is actually going the way of King's Throw, it seems. Sigma is 1, and there he goes. And Shadow Dragon is actually in trouble still, but it looks like he might be able to live. Never mind. He has taken... This fight is never ending, just like last one. Panda is 1v1ing a Reaper in that room, giving him a lot of lifesteal, but managing to actually win the fight in the end.
Wow, King's Throw actually managing to flip that using everything in their bank. Unfortunately, Jaeger's swap to Reaper has proven to be very, very effective as an anti-dive measure against King's Throw, but that being said, they are close to another Nano and Primal, which you saw them use last fight. Normally you see Nano being used first and Primal being staggered and used after it ends for maximum survivability.
There goes Jaeger though, and that's not going to look good. That's their one ultimate out of the fight. Viper is going to get his Sigma ult soon, but I would not be surprised if he does not... Oh wait, he slept off point. Somebody needs to go touch for the Otter Oxide. They're falling quickly. Viper is alone on the point with his ult, but he is dead. He tries to before he dies. And that pick on Jaeger might have just completely switched the fight into King's Throw's favor. Jaeger is coming back. He takes down Simple, and he still has his ultimate. Here it comes. It's completely negated by the defense matrix, except it does take down Kirk 1 still, but he is down, and with Shinky going down, CO Gully is the only one left alive against 4 King's Throw members. Unless they stagger their initiations perfectly, I don't see this going their way. However, they have taken down Alfredo. I have been wrong before on this map. This map can produce really long fights if they can't get the kills fast enough. Down goes Chicken. This really looks like it could go both ways once again. Down goes Shadow Dragon. That's their major healing down. Kirk 1 is the only healer, and it looks like he's getting jumped on. King's Throw has no more healers, and it looks like this fight is actually going to be lost for them. An amazing retake from Otter Oxide.
The target focus from Otter is proving to be so effective, and they end up winning the map. You can't even get on point. Poor Alfredo.
Alfredo gets punched and uppercut, so he cannot get to that point.
Oh man, you saw Otter Oxide switch to the dive at the end and all contest at the same time. And the crucial pick was actually, I'm not sure if you noticed this, Laser, but the window from Jumpy Wizard killing Alfredo in the middle of nowhere. King's Throw wasn't prepared for that ultimate to be used, or for it to be ready at all, actually. And just spams down Alfredo, and suddenly your most guaranteed source of sustain is just gone. And
yeah, it's very important. And that pick on the Reaper, I don't remember exactly his name, but that looked like it was going to be the end for Otter Oxide. That was their only ultimate that they had 100% at the time. But they somehow brought it back with CO on the Tracer touching, and then the ball coming in at the perfect time. They managed to take down the supports, and they actually managed to flip that fight and take it 2-0.
Lazy, could you imagine that ball was actually a crucial pick in that situation for the overtime stall?
Well, he's definitely a fast character, and on that map, that point is so massive, and there's a lot of cover you can go around, because there's this big thing in the middle that blocks LOS. So fights can go a really long time. You really have to have good target focus and finish everybody off as soon as you can, so that they cannot get back on fast characters. Because that point, as we saw, there were many fights that went on for a long time.
And not only is Wrecking Ball an extraordinarily fast hero, he also has an extreme amount of burst potential in a slot where when you play Winston Ball dive instead of Winston Diva as King's Throw was doing, Ball has so much more burst potential, the potential to just end people extremely quickly. Whereas King's Throw is more of a tempo dive, and in an overtime situation, you clearly want the speedier, more explosive composition that might have actually swung it in Otter Oxide's favor.
Yeah, definitely. I think a swap from the Diva over to the Ball in overtime may have been the right choice for King's Throw. However, there's no way to actually tell. The Diva actually did get some work done. He ate the high noon. However, he did get baited, but he did save Alfredo's life, and he did eat most of the Reaper ult. It probably would have been worse if he wasn't on Diva there, but he could not actually eat the whole thing, and their Lucio got killed by it. So I mean, it was a really close map, that one, especially the second one.
Absolutely, Otter's controlled the tempo of that first objective a lot, but the second one, King's Throw, is getting their foot in the door, causing problems for Otters up till the very end, and even making their aggression with the Reaper ultimate just completely out the window. Is all up to chaos at that point.
Yeah, for sure. And it looks like we're going to Horizon Lunar Colony as our next map. Evan, what do you think they're going to be running here?
Horizon, I'm looking on attack. I'm especially curious to see if King's Throw, they've clearly shown that they're willing to go for the dive strategies, but are they willing to operate in such an open space, or are they going to opt for a composition that allows them to rotate in different pathways and get up to points where they want, flush people off the high ground? And from Otters on defense, I'm expecting poke compositions. And on the flip side, which is where we're going to, Otters seem to be on the attack first. I'm wondering if Otters are going to be actually willing to run a Ball to displace people to see, because it clearly seemed to work for that overtime, but is that all that they're going to use it for? And King's Throw? Not sure. I want to see if they're going to run a Ryan on defense.
Yeah, that would be a treat. The Bastion has been usually used here, but after the recent patch where shields got mega nerfed, he is not nearly as good. So spam comps have had to be changed into some things without Bastion. So stuff like maybe an Ashe or maybe a Soldier even.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing you have seen teams start to do is just stick with the Bastion and just be really sensitive to rotating quickly against whatever the Otters are going to be doing on attack. But I would be concerned if I were King's Throw a little bit, maybe shaken up a little bit from the first map, and not knowing if Otters are going to run something that can just completely pick them apart or not. So, well, I want to see if they're going to be running something that plays more split on defense or something that plays all together and just rotates to where Otters are going to be.
Yeah, definitely. Transitioning through that spam is going to be the most important part of the rollout on this map. It looks like one of King's Throw's players needed to restart their game, so we will be getting into this next map shortly once they come back. Yeah, we can cut to a break here. I think that's a good idea, Evan.
Yeah, absolutely, and just wait for their player to come back.
All right.
Cool.
The world could always use more heroes.
Welcome back, everybody. It looks like we are going to Horizon Lunar Colony now. And as we talked about before, a lot of spam, a lot of brawl run here, maybe even some dive. Let's see if we can get some King's Throw on that cyber dive we know that they love to run.
I'm just waiting for the 7 seconds to pass, see what we're getting first glimpses of on the compositions. I honestly have no idea what these teams like to play here.
Ready for battle.
And on the side of King's Throw, no DPS chosen yet, so I'm not sure, but it looks like we are probably getting a Reinhardt on defense. And like you said, Laser, an Ash coming out from Chicken.
And Ash with the Baptiste and Mercy, that's a lot of damage, and there goes the Junkrat, so that's a ton of damage to have to walk through. They are on defense, so that is most likely going to be their composition, while Otters, we're still wondering what their tanks are going to be.
So with King's Throw composition, it looks like they're going to want to hold one main front line with the Orisa and Reinhardt, and using Len to spam with Junkrat and maybe Chicken and Sidechick moving to a different angle and damage boosting with Ash, get some Bob Charge going and spam from a different angle. And that looks like exactly how they're setting up. You see how King's Throw is on the top left. And Otter Oxide going into a dive.
You're seeing a dive, like an actual dive comp with Lucio and Ana. So let's see if they just try to. It looks like they're going to transition through space. Maybe Pulse is going. Tanks are going up the stairs. Trace is in space. Pulse is taking a lot of damage. He is not in a good spot right now. He is so low. He makes it around the corner and he is still alive. But the transition is still in motion.
This is a very messy rotation from Otters, and they need to like decide where they're staging from.
And there goes Pulse right onto the front line of the King's Throw. Here comes the Immortality Field, stopping anybody from dying. Tanks are just, they seem like they're taking turns. Pulse, I don't know if he was just jumping back for heals, I guess. They are trying to make the point. CO Gully is going behind. He is dueling their Junkrat. It's very messy, but here comes a really fast Nano onto Pulse. Baptiste Matrix, though, absolutely shredding. Len goes down. This is looking like Otter Oxide could pull this through. Bob comes out. These are a lot of ultimates for first fight. Winston already has his primal going. He's knocking them around. Alfredo is antied and he's in the Immortality Field. He is so low. Down he goes, but Chicken's Bob has gotten 2 and so has Len. And Jaeger is still there though. It's really back and forth. Shadow Dragon is dead, and now it's only Panda, and it looks like the Pulse Bomb may not have been the best idea. But Panda, I can't imagine he'll live any longer. And there he goes.
One at the end.
Jaeger is the only one alive on point, but respawns are definitely favoring Otter Oxide.
And this makes you wonder, was the initial poor staging, quote unquote, from Otters it purely intentional to build Jumpy Wizard's Nano? Because that's what opened up the point. It looked like to be going King's Throw way before that started happening.
That is quite possible because they got their Nano, and that's what seemed to initiate them when they jumped onto the point. Now coming on a second point, King's Throw has gone for a Doomfist over the Ash, and Otters is keeping the same comp.
And a Zarya from Panda instead of the Orisa. I think Alfredo makes the swap over to Reinhardt as well.
And it comes a Tire takes down CO Gully. That's going to be their push kind of thwarted. There's not much they can do now. They can try and push in 5v6, but I would not advise it. Looks like they might actually just be trying to hold their ground on the high ground. Wait for CO to come back. He's on Tracer. He's not going to take long to get back. And Winston is crawling around below. He's looking for a place to dive.
Otters are definitely just looking to stage here.
Yeah, they need to wait for the Tracer to come back. And he seems to be going back into spawn to swap. Over to a Sombra, interestingly. Can't tell if they're just going for a hack, if they're going to go for the EMP. And, I mean, Sombra is pretty strong against Ryan Zarya, especially Ryan. Kind of stops him from doing anything. In comes Pulse with the dive. Viper, Sirenger's dive. Not trying to get too much. In comes the Nano Blade. He's jumping up to the top. He already gets Chicken. He's taking on the Immortality Field. And Shadow Dragon goes down. Two big characters down. And it looks like 4 are down now. And King's Throw is not in a good spot right here. CO comes in on the Sombra. He gets a hack on the Panda. There goes Panda. Alfredo gets rezzed, but it seems only to die, especially as his Shadow gets blocked by the Winston bubble. Immortality Field now on point. That's going to go away immediately. Shadow Dragon tries with the Amp Matrix. Chicken actually does get Shinky. That could start coming back, but no. It looks like Otter Oxide takes a pretty fast 4-minute Horizon Lunar Colony.
Yeah, what a blazing tempo set by Otters. And wonder if the lack of a saving ultimate on the side of the King's Throw is what decided that in the end. Because when Otters used the Nano very early to take first point, you knew that Otters had Blade, but you knew they didn't have the Nano. Maybe that was their opening. They had to like try to force that out of them or get Otters to use it somehow, engage with it. But they just waited patiently, took more spam. And that seems to be the story, is that Otters are sitting there taking spam and letting it be healed up by Jumpy Wizard until he gets Nano and just winning the fights immediately with combos based on it. So at what point does King's Throw need to be on a Zenyatta or a Lucio, do you think?
Yeah, that Nano has been huge. I don't even know if a Zenyatta or a Lucio would have saved them there. I think they just needed to play more split or either focus down that Genji as soon as they could. Maybe get a Mei in there just to freeze them, because there's not much you can do about Nano Blade once it starts going. And if Otter Oxide is just gonna play for the Nano, then you kind of just have to deal with it and try and do what you can to not just get wiped by it.
Yeah, and an Immortality Field, as was demonstrated, Shadow Dragon used the Immortality Field to stop the Blade, but it lasted about all of a second. The saving ultimate and managing it correctly becomes vital. You see Otters running the standard Orisa Sigma, going for a Hanzo and Mei spam. So this comp likes to play up close and wall someone off, but you have the Hanzo on a flank game causing absolute chaos. And
Mei's spam is not too bad either. She gets those 150 damage headshots.
King's Throw.
It looks like King's Throw is on a Sombra. I can't tell if that's just for scouting or if they actually want to run the Sombra. But I wouldn't be too surprised with King's Throw. They do have a Zarya. That will be interesting. Especially seeing as they're on opposite sides of the choke right now.
Zarya not the most meta pick here. Zarya definitely not in a great place in the state of Overwatch right now. But we'll see if King's Throw can find some success getting in. It's like they're just taking spam now.
Panda peeks out for 1 second, gets a bit of energy, then gets immediately headshot and has to run back around that corner. Looks like they're wasting quite a lot of time, and Panda is on the wrong side of the choke, as mentioned before. He's gonna have to use his bubble to get through, and there he goes. He's using it, and he is on the other side now. But now he does not have that bubble to help transition. There's an interesting TP on top of a Mei wall that brings them up to the top. Only some of them take it though. This is a really weird split push. Looks like Alfredo and Shadow Dragon are going to point. And Alfredo is just going to start swinging, hoping to get some damage out. In comes the Immortality Field, keeping him alive. And it looks like King's Throw, this weird strategy to take space, has actually worked. And Alfredo is in the front line, getting so much damage done. He's nearly out of shatter now. And in comes the Amp Matrix from both teams. Alfredo, no fear, jumps in. But it looks like that might have actually been short-sighted because Otter Oxide is bringing it back.
He jumps above his Immortality Field. And what was interesting from King's Throw about that is they sent only some people through the teleporter, and Alfredo just kind of going on his lonesome going in. Jaeger walls him off, almost kills him. It ends up allowing them to take space because Otters couldn't finish him off quickly enough for Shadow Dragon to use the Immortality Field. But as you saw, Otter's able to reconvene, use their own Immortality Field when King's Throw was on cooldown and just win off of that.
That was an impressive hold for what looked like King's Throw, taking all the space with the Reinhardt up in their face. Here comes a Maywall to block the spam. Otters is electing not to take that fight. They're just going to transition, walk back, make King's Throw come to them. And here comes Alfredo. He's going to try and come up, but he gets pulled into the Dragon. They're all going to be really low. The Immortality Field saving them, though. Alfredo and Panda are still 1 health and down to his chicken. It looks like they might just have to reset here. Here comes a Mayol. That's definitely going to spell bad news for Alfredo. And
this fight is over.
They're all frozen. Goodbye to the King's
Throw. So going to have to go back to spawn and think about what just happened. And what I saw was, from the side of Otter Oxide, is that they sent King's Throw into a panic with the Dragon. And then
Otter Oxide really wants this kill right now. They are actually almost in their spawn at this point. Glenn does make it out.
Glenn makes it out barely. And what I saw from, what I was going back to saying is that, what I saw from Otters is that Siogoli's Dragon was so expertly placed, and that King's Throw had to jump off the tank line, just getting split.
Comes an early Sigma ult from the side of Otter Oxide. It seemed like they thought they were going to get more with that Mei wall, but King's Throw is able to just walk back into the hallway, and they did not get much done there. Alfredo has no shield though, and he's running on the point. Only hammer. His bubble is already out, so he doesn't have much to do against that. Then comes Alfredo. Grab is out, only get them in tanks. Trades on both sides. And in comes a Shatter, takes down Jaeger. Jaeger is instantly deleted, and he charges Viper. CEO is going to die soon enough, and it looks like Lucio is the only one that's going to stall the point out. Running around the walls, Alfredo cannot do anything about this. Here comes the Doomfist though, going to try and finish him off. He's still running around, and there he goes. And with 20 seconds, it looks like King's Throw is going to take this point.
King's Throw barely taking the first point. Miscues on when their Doomfist is going in due to the dragon and other things have cost them a lot of time. But maybe if they get a fast point, if they get a fast cap with the Blizzard here available and the beat to survive, maybe they can get close to matching and bring in this time bank back.
Yeah,
On the other side,
still they've elected to keep their tank duo. Blizzard is a huge ult that can be used for really good point caps. But in comes the Bungo already from the side of Otter Oxide, and Psychic gets taken down immediately. They're still going for the Blizzard. It can trade fights in completely the other direction, and it looks like it is doing. Len is taken down too, and Alfredo's in the back. And what looked like a bad fight at the very start is now turning into a King's Throw roll.
That's exactly what I said. That King's Throw had to use the Blizzard aggressively to get value and cap this early.
Viper and Shinky come back. Down goes Viper. Shinky is still on this point. He is stalling as Lucio as best as he can, but he gets booped off by the Doomfist, and that is it.
The Doomfist boop, and exactly as I said, the Len using his Blizzard early in an aggressive situation was definitely the key to winning that. Otters had no response for it besides an immortality field.
Yeah, that ultimate swings fights entirely. If you can get enough people in it, and they don't expect it, because, you know, once you get first pick on defense 2CP, especially on second point, you can kind of expect that you're going to win that fight. So sometimes just throwing everything at them to throw them off can actually benefit them.
Even though they were down, it's worth noting that if the Blizzard's put in a good spot, it just has to be, the Blizzard has to be good in a good enough spot to make the Baptiste use the immortality field in a subpar location that you can just focus down like super quickly. And then everyone's frozen, and Alfredo just pummeled them to the ground.
Once they're frozen, there's no escaping that ult. You're frozen for a good few seconds. You can pump damage into them. You cannot move. And even through trance, you can get killed. It's a pretty strong ultimate.
As I said, off of King's Throw on attack seems to be maybe going for a Baptiste Zenyatta.
On attack, that is an interesting duo because you do not have that speed transition, and your Zen is very vulnerable while he's transitioning.
Maybe they're looking
it's definitely going to be difficult.
Maybe they're looking for better target focus and the saving ultimate that they were having problems with. But you would expect this more on defense to the side of Otter Oxide's dive, as what it was causing them a lot of problems on their first defense. So I'm excited to see how this actually works out for them. They're definitely not going to have the speed to get through Otter Oxide's spam, but if they can just last through that, not conga line through the chokes, then they have a definite chance of being able to focus fire in close range.
And it looks like Jaeger has left the game, unfortunately, so Otters is down one for this defense. They're going to be asking for a pause here. Unfortunately, it has not happened yet. Both teams are standing still. Respect to King's Throw for not keeping pushing. And I guess, well, Alfredo is the lobby host, so he's trying to figure out how to pause. This is not looking good for the side of Otter Oxide.
Alfredo needs to figure out his pause.
Neither side is benefiting here. Otter Oxide is down a player, and King's Throw is losing valuable time. So I guess it's kind of a trade-off.
Maybe a little bit of a trade-off, but at least there was respect on both sides and not take advantage of the situation. So respect to Otters and King's Throw for doing so.
Yeah, respect to King's Throw for stopping and pausing, not just pushing with their advantage and claiming that it was still mid-fight. So good on them. No, it definitely was not. So that's a good thing. So Otters has lost one of their DPS players, which is going to be really bad once this is unpaused, because he's going to have to come back and deal with whatever mess Otter Oxide is going to have to scave off from King's Throw. And there goes Panda too. I don't know if he's just restarting his game or what, but we're losing players left and right.
Oh goodness. It seems we may have to cut to a short break here to wait for Panda and Jaeger to come back. Since Panda is restarting and Jaeger is just completely disconnected. So we'll probably come back to you in the near future.
Only probably. back once again, and Panda is coming back from spawn as well as Jaeger. He's swapped over to the Sombra, actually Reaper now, which Reaper can get back pretty fast, so that's probably a good choice. And King's Throw looking like they're transitioning 2 different ways, down a player too, and that's not going to go well for them as they conga line onto the point. They're down 2 technically because Panda's still walking back from spawn. Alfredo is just going to run away.
This has to be a reset from King's Throw. King's Throw opting to just, hey, we're 5v5, we can take this fight, possibly, but the transition with Alfredo's shield is a little bit too far back. You saw Seagull was able to easily pick off Sidechick, and they just had to get out.
Yeah, it looked like they were going both underneath the boardwalk and also up the stairs, and maybe that was communicated incorrectly. Shadow Dragon staggering himself as he tries to escape the space, but Otter Oxide would not let him get away.
Yeah, quite possibly. And you're looking at last fight territory perhaps for King's Throw, almost definitely. And Otter Oxide has dragons already, and King's Throw has nothing to deal with it. So they might just end up getting split. I'll see how King's Throw responds to this.
Yeah, King's Throw is opting to go up the stairs for now. Here comes the dragon. The supports are actually split. Reaper is on the other side, and there goes Panda. He can get no healing. Chicken does take down Jumpy Wizard though. He is still fragging. He's trying to escape from CO. He was looking right down his sights at him. And Alfredo goes down. That's not going to be good. Both tanks are down. CO does go down. Somebody's got to touch the point for the side of King's Throw. And in goes Chicken. Len is actually getting a lot of picks here. Now it's all up to Chicken to see if he can kill whoever tries to touch the point next. And as 3 of Otter Oxide's members descend upon him, I do not imagine he would be able to do that. In comes Psychic for an attempt. And in comes Alfredo on the ball. As you said before, great stall character. Swinging around. He comes with the pile drive. He is still alive. Still has a bit of health. But Otter Oxide is taking down everybody else and him now. And there's no way Shadow Dragon's getting to that point.
Strong full hold by Otter Oxide. Amplified by the rotation and the dragon, sending them into a pure frenzy. Like I said it would. Rotating up through the high ground with Sio Gully putting in work on the Hanzo. Maybe they didn't know that he had the dragons, but it ended up sending them in a complete panic. The immortality field goes down, but it doesn't heal. It just preserves you at a very low HP. So as long as Otters rushed in, which they did, and broke the immortality field and then just got the picks they needed to, that was a sure fight win.
Yeah, well played by Otter Oxide. They're using their dragons to very good use, as we saw on their other defense as well. Otter Oxide looking like they're going to go for a dive comp. That could always change, but I would not be surprised if they did.
I'm curious to see if Shadow Dragon sticks on the Zenyatta, or if he's... And you see the support line still thinking about what they want to go. Of course, there's a Baptiste, but I want to see... I'm not at Sidechick, excuse me. I want to see if Sidechick is going to pick something like a Lucio or and she opts for the Mercy. So
yeah, I mean, that is a lot of damage boost for Len, a lot of pressure on him to pop off. Chicken has been doing a really good job on that Doomfist, but a lot of times it's just not been enough. And in comes the normal dive like we saw last time from the side of Otters. We'll see if they go for a Sombra on second point. Like, actually, no, we won't see if they go for a Sombra on second point because this is first point only.
A little bit of a lapse in judgment there.
Yeah, just a bit. Alfredo is on the Reinhardt again. Interesting to see, because he does not get value unless Otters actually jump right onto them. And Otters going up the stairs with the dive comp. That is going to be difficult with the squishy tanks. We got Sio on point, touching, trying to bring them back. And the entirety of King's Throw gets baited back by Sio. They're now holding point, and Otters has a really good position to just dive, jump on them. Shadow Dragon does take down Sio Gully. That's a really big pick. And Immortality Field comes out, going to stop their dive from getting any work done. Jaegers is trying to get as much ult charge as he possibly can, and he's going to take him down. And the Lucio, seemingly invisible to the side of King's Throw, has almost made it out, but Chicken comes in with the combo and takes him down too.
Good pacing by Otters by sending the Tracer to point to bring the entirety of King's Throw back, which is almost certainly not what should have happened, but did. It allowed Otters to have the diving potential of the stage, but just Shadow Dragon getting a pick on Siu Gully just completely ended that. Without the Tracer, you're just not going to be able to finish off many of your kills.
Yeah, pull from King's Throw comes out, and it takes the Winston bubble. Important cooldown gone for the side of Otters. It looks like they're just going to try and transition without jumping, though. The same thing they did last time. Siu Gully's in space. He is waiting for the Q to jump in. And here they go. They're just jumping on the front line. We got a nanoed monkey going in. The immortality field is out, so they cannot get picked But Pulse going in the back line. He is with the Nano right behind the Amp Matrix. He's going to take no damage from that and absolutely decimate the back line of King's Throw. But Chicken is trying to bring it back right here. Here comes a Shadow from Alfredo. This might actually be the thing that they need to bring it back. Here comes a Bongo. Both Panda is literally 1 health and Alfredo has nothing left either. I don't know if they have any supports, but if they don't, Alfredo looks like he's going to die soon. And there he goes, and there goes the side of Otter Oxide taking the win.
Oh, Alfredo trying, just King's Throw's last stand, just trying to win off, get the last 2 picks necessary, but Jumpy Wizard's still alive. And just what I was concerned about, without the saving ultimate, just the immortality field to keep them alive. I was concerned about this before the match started, or before this last round started, because without that saving ultimate, it seems they're just going to play for the nano boost, and only that. So it was just a matter of time before they got it. And how can King's Throw respond to that with a Baptiste and Mercy? All you have is the immortality field, and as I said, it doesn't heal.
Yeah,
so I don't think the composition had an answer.
Yeah, at that point it comes down to just how you play it. You got to try and play split, hope for the best, try and focus down that Genji, make him do nothing. But as it seems, they could not do that, and the Genji got a lot of value, and so did the Monkey, just jumping right past the Amp Matrix, taking none of that amplified damage and killing 2 almost immediately. It seems like King's Throw, they were reluctant to drop down, but some of them did before others, and the tanks were left. Supports, 1 support, 1 DPS was left on the high ground, while 1 DPS and 1 support dropped down to the low ground, and it seemed like that costed them their lives.
And what's happening a lot with King's Throw is the response to dive is allowing Otter Oxide to isolate 1 or 2 targets and just completely focus them down. You see Siugoli and perhaps Siugoli and Jaeger coming in on the DPS and going in the back line on the Tracer and Genji, pulling back like 3 or 4 members while the tanks are up there trying to hold the front line. And the rest of Otter Oxide is up there ready to burn them down in a 4v2, where with the mobility of Genji and Tracer, Siugoli and Jaeger can just get out of there unless they find a pick, or they could reconsult with their team and just kill the tanks extremely quickly. So it's a great job from Otters sending King's Throw into a panic, and King's Throw needs to figure out a way to reconsolidate when they're being dove and make their team a whole so it can respond to their aggression.
Yeah, definitely the knee-jerk reaction to getting dived onto is just to run away as far as you can, but most of the time that's a really bad idea because you're splitting yourself away from your team. That is what dive excels at, jumping in, splitting off supports and tanks and DPS, and just picking off whoever they can, and Otter Oxide's doing a great job of that so far.
But yeah, as the next map goes into King's Throw, I'm actually thinking King's Throw may have a really good potential of taking this map, with the possibility of dive not really showing itself here, and pick and poke comps aren't going to be as effective as they are in other maps because you don't have as an oppressive of a high ground in most places on this map.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that because King's Throw is named after the fact that they never win King's Throw or King's Row. So maybe they can turn that around. Although I do know Otters is really good on their brawl comps. So it's going to be really a mix between who can get the better cooldown rotation, who can get the better transitions, and also to see who goes for spam, who goes for brawl, who just tries to run in their face, who tries to kill them from afar. It's going to be interesting. And King's Throw is always fun because it's such a linear map. It's really which team is better than the other and not which team's comp is better.
Absolutely. It's a good measure of skill when you get the mirror matchup. I'm not sure if King's Throw will play into the mirror matchup, or maybe Otter Oxide on defense. You've seen Otter Oxide does have a propensity to run some poke comps with Pharah before. So I'm curious to see if that trend sticks through. Not with a Pharah on this map usually, but maybe running Siugoli on the Hanzo. Setting him up.
Hanzo definitely pretty good.
Setting him up on high ground, having Jaeger on the Mei, being able to split off King's Throw his aggression, giving Siugoli buying time for him to get the picks on the high ground. Perhaps you'll see that, or maybe they just want to meet King's Throw, challenge them in the brawl, and just see who comes out on top.
Just run straight at their face, annihilate them. Sometimes it really takes teams by surprise on King's Row. It is difficult to kite back on that map, so both teams really have to be aggressive. Whichever one's more aggressive generally takes the point. So we'll see whoever can cap that first point really quick, that'll be a really good judgment of what we're gonna see for the rest of this map.
And I would like to see King's Throw, as a response to what Otters are doing, settle into a Lucio. You haven't seen them run a lot of Lucio, and I think it would offer so much value to what's been bugging them. The speed boost can help you get away from the ultimates that get you caught in one place, like the dragons can help you reconvene when stuff goes wrong, and the utility of beat can't be overstated.
Definitely, and I mean, you kind of need Lucio with you when you have a Reinhardt, because how else is he gonna get in their backline, just start doing damage, and you know, Lucio Moira is still looking good after the patch, despite Moira's nerfs. Lucio Baptiste is also a very viable support combo. So, especially on this map where aggression is definitely rewarded, it would be great to see a Lucio on the side of King's Throw.
I want to go back to what you just said. Are you insinuating that Reinhardt in the backline is a great idea?
Yes, I am. And by that, I mean, no. Do not go into the backline as Reinhardt. But if you can walk your way while swinging and you end up in the middle of their team, you're going to get a lot of value done, assuming you don't die.
You just rotate your camera like completely around, set your DPI to an extraordinarily high value, and just start spinning. You'll hit everybody.
Start building a shatter in less than 5 seconds, immediately shatter, and then teabag the entire enemy team as they're all dead.
It's something I've done before.
No, that's
the helicopter. You ever see the helicopter Reinhardt?
Yeah, I actually have. He just flies away.
Yeah, that's coming in Overwatch too.
Definitely. And it looks like Alfredo is on the Reinhardt, Panda's on that Orisa. Interestingly, Otters, who are on defense, are going for more of a spam comp, more of a Sigma and Orisa. So not the Reinhardt, not the aggressive comp, but they're going to try and play for picks. They do have the Mei, which can help out with their front line. And here we go. Oh,
just like I said, the Mei, Hanzo, and Otter Oxide, and King's Throw opting for a Lucio here.
King's Throw is a really strange comp. They have a Symmetra and a Doomfist. Their Symmetra TP is in the backline. They're going to try and turret bomb, and I mean, it gets at the immortality field. In comes Chicken. They have taken a lot of space successfully with this strange comp. King's Throw, they're known for that. And in comes the wall, is going to block off Alfredo, and he's going to die actually really quickly. So Otter's doing a good job of recontesting. CO does go down to the punch, and Viper goes down, and it looks like King's Throw actually are doing a much better job. Jaeger is trying to flank around the back, get whatever he can done. And they even use the Amp Matrix, but it's to no avail as King's Throw just rushes through full aggro.
King's Throw with the interesting Symmetra strategy, and you would think with there's a bit of an anti-synergy there with Lucio, and especially with Symmetra kind of getting reverse power crept by the nerf of shields, you wouldn't really expect this strategy, but it ends up working. Symmetra is still very capable of charging up the beam extraordinarily fast and melting shields and then melting the tanks that make the shields. So I think that's what we saw on this first point.
Yeah, and Turret Bomb kind of threw them off. They had to use the Immortality Field to stay alive from that. And that really opened up the fight for them. Looks like King's Throw is trying to take some space. They're just holding the corner, not getting too aggressive. Alfredo is walled off. That cost him his life last time. And clutch Amp Mix, or clutch Immortality Field comes in. And as I said, the Amp Matrix also comes in. Fire Strike comes out from Alfredo. He gets another Shatter up. And will he be able to use this one to swing the fight? But in comes the Mail, and it looks like the entirety of King's Throw is going to be frozen. They are gone. Goodbye.
Oh, the Blizzard. Blizzard is such a fight-ending ultimate, especially on King's Throw. The ability to rotate out of it, you almost have to always save amp speed for it. But what I would like King's Throw to do a little bit more maybe is the window didn't seem to get a lot of value. Maybe if you try pulling into it and fire striking through the window, it would get a little bit more value.
As you say that, out comes the Amp Matrix from the side of Otter Oxide. Comes the Meteor Strike from Chicken. He's going to have to go really deep if he wants anything. No, he's going to play it safe and just Meteor Strike back into his team. A smart move, because he would instantly get deleted if he tried otherwise. Bongo's down from both teams. Panda's Bongo is going to get immediately destroyed as he places it on top of the cart. That must have been absolutely unlucky mistake. Alfredo's in the front line. He's getting frozen, but in comes the wall. It is not enough to block all the damage coming out from Otters, and they're just going to roll them back once more. This point is so hard to push on King's Throw.
Truly unfortunate. Panda a little bit misplacing the Bongo. Normally you see Bongos placed towards the corners so that your whole team can be in line of sight of it, and so it gets a little bit more value. But Otters are using their cooldowns and ultimates in tandem with one another. Their teammates working together to make them work. King's Throw needs to match a little bit of that and start getting some things going together to win these fights more.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like they could have an advantage here. They do have they do have Beat for the Signal, and they do have Shatter as well as Amp Matrix. See if they can just overpower before Otters can build up their ults again. Dumalt is now available for Seo, and he's going in for it immediately. Pulse gets taken down, and so does Jaeger. Seo goes up to the top of the building to use his Dumalt, but it looks like he's just stuck in the middle of their team right now, getting frozen and hammered by the Reinhardt. And there we go. King's Throw is able to push through that difficult point.
Now, Otters did get the beat out of Kirk, so that's an important factor going forward with Viper's Gravitic Flux and even Jumpy Wizard's window, with only an Earth Shatter to answer for. But King's Throw actually does manage to take the points, so this is a story for another fight.
Yeah, and mirror compositions on both sides. As we said earlier, this is really the true test of skill now. True test of which team is more coordinated. Here comes a pull, and then a pull into a Sigma ult, and they get slammed down, and two of them immediately destroyed as the Amp Matrix also comes out, just boosting the damage onto them. And it looks like King's Throw is going to have to go back to spawn, think about what they can do next.
Yeah, and like I said, Kirk using the beat on that last fight is going to cost them at least another 30 seconds here before King's Throw can win another fight. And Otters have their own beat to respond, and rolling up on a Blizzard soon, with still the only ultimate really. Well, we'll have a lot of matching Blizzards.
Yeah, Simple is very close. It looks like he's going to get it almost immediately. He's at 98 now. And he's in their front line getting a lot of freezes off. Alfredo tries to go for the Shadow, but for double shield, they can't be expected to get that much. A Venn diagram on point. Both Blizzards, everybody's frozen. Both teams are trying to just shoot each other, but they're all frozen. But it looks like Otter Oxide is going to be able to come out on top. Maybe, actually. Chicken does take down Seo, and they do have the spawn advantage slightly. And there goes Panda, there goes their front line. Chicken can try and do whatever he can. He's just going to run away, and actually, it looks like Alfredo's back, and they're going to try and take down Simple. He has no more Ice Block. He is now out. I meant Jaeger, actually. He was in the front line as Mei. But Shinky gets picked off, and that's not going to be good for them. They have no speed. They have no way to run away. Seo charging in, trying to get a pick with his punch. He does not get it. He just runs away, and it looks like Otters are actually having to give up space as a result of losing their Lucio. He is still not quite there yet. A wall trying to buy time. Fight kind of going down up top, and down goes Seo Gully. He did not expect three members to hop up top and kill him. Alfredo is just running through this Amp Matrix. However, he takes a lot of damage on his way there. Jumpy Wizard gets booped off, but I can't imagine that King's Throw is going to be able to get enough picks to continue this fight.
Oh, both teams playing so dangerously close. Simple getting booped off again, Simple getting booped off by Shinky. Both teams having a little bit of a problem with that right side of the card. From the attacker's perspective. King's Row third point is notorious for the environmental potential.
Yeah, Alfredo getting picked off there at the end. He tried to go for a nice little charge pick just before he died.
Sadly, didn't work out.
Not worked out, no.
But
they're gonna have to wait for him to respawn.
But seeing the next fight coming in, we're rolling up on a double Blizzard again. King's Throw looking to charge that quickly, and they'll have it online very, very soon. So the ultimate's looking in favor of Otters.
And in comes the beat as a response to the Sigma, something that they did not have last time. Jumping Wizard goes down. It's going to look really good for King's Throw. However, Blizzard is still available for the side of Otters. And here it comes, along with the Doomfist ult. And Alfredo is frozen. He is not going to be happy with that. He almost gets booped off, but he is on the edge. Actually a really smart Maywall coming out from Simple, stopping him from getting knocked off. And it looks like King's Throw, I don't think they've lost any members. They're charging in full speed here. Down goes Shinky, just trying to stop this point. And oh my, Alfredo comes in and charges the Mei out of spawn. A really good move from him, stopping any stall, and they're going to cap with over a minute left.
Big brain from Alfredo, knowing the exact timing, the sound cue of the ice block coming out, and just presses shift at the exact right time to pin him without any reaction time to set up a wall. King's Throw's doing a much better job of pacing their ultimates, being a little bit more proactive with their use. When you have a double Blizzard, usually a team that uses their Blizzard first and starts freezing people first is going to have a better time, or an easier time at capitalizing on the people caught in it, and that ended up being the case here on the third point. And then Alfredo with the big brain charge.
Yeah, and there was actually, I don't know if you caught it, but there was a really smart Maywall from Simple. Alfredo was stuck in the Blizzard, and he got booped really close to the edge. However, the Maywall, it blocked him off from getting booped off to the side, where he could not move because he was frozen. So that was actually a really nice, smart move from the side of King's Throw.
Yeah, absolutely. And they got 1 minute and 4 seconds for their efforts. It looks like King's Throw And I'm seeing if they're walking out of spawn, and they are, with Junkrat McCree.
It's a lot of damage.
And yeah, it is a bunch of damage coming in on the front line. And sticking with the Lucio, wanting to be able to, I think smartly, being able to want to get out of the way of Otters as they come in. Let their spam just waste resources as they reposition.
Definitely. The side of Kingstar, they're going to have to run away with their DPS because their DPS are fairly squishy. Not the sort of front line that we see with the Doom or the Mei or the Reaper. So they're going to have to start kiting. However, Alfredo is our own Reinhardt, so it's kind of a counterintuitive composition. But there's a lot of damage. All that damage getting pumped out might just be enough.
I think the point may be with the Orisa Reinhardt is to reconvene after kiting, to reconvene on one spot and decide where we're going to take the fight and put their foot down.
And Otter Oxide making the smart move, go around the statue, set up their supports so that they can start spamming. And it looks like they're just going to be charging up that amp matrix. They already have it. They're going to be using that to push in, I would imagine. A lot of damage. I don't know if King's Throw is going to be ready for this. And it looks like Chicken is trying to go for the flank, trying to pick off. And here comes the amp matrix. And King's Throw is just going to kite around the corner. I think the amp matrix could definitely have been pushed up further. However, they are getting people to really back off, and they take down Kirk 1 as a result. Comes the immortality field on the side of Otter Oxide, but Simple gets 2, and here comes the tire. Simple gets 4. He is absolutely saving this for the side of King's Row. Will look like an unwinnable fight. He is now just charging in. He has no fear. He is in their backline, and Simple just completely saved that.
Oh, Laser! I was gonna say that fight. I thought it was one for Otter Oxide. I was gonna say it was a game of the Baptiste and the immortality field usage, and the cooldowns around it being better for Otter Oxide. But on the what Otters did there is they sit and choke and take spam damage with the field up, but that also charges the Rip Tire.
Yeah, definitely. Simple got that tire really fast. He's already 50 to another one. That's a really scary sight. Cio gets another pick to begin this fight. This is looking like a lot of deja vu here. However, no amp matrix on the side of Otter Oxide. This fight is actually looking identical to the last one. With the amp or the immortality field coming around the corner to help the tanks move up. In comes the Dragon Strike, and this is where the differences end as Alfredo dies. Jaeger takes down Panda. Simple is still trying to bring it back. Wait, there's no way that. No way, King's Throw brings it back in. He's fragging. Theo takes down 3 though, and that is gonna be the end.
Such a clutch, almost clutch performance by Shadow Dragon, just putting in all the work on his shoulders, even using the amp matrix to help do that.
Absolutely valiant effort. Alfredo, he steps his foot on point, dies immediately, gets that extra second, and it looks like they're going to be going back to spawn. And Alfredo has now actually made himself a really long spawn, so he's really far away now.
It'll be a long walk back for Alfredo. And what Otters is doing very well is putting their immortality fields on the corners and not using their shield cooldowns.
And
want these picks.
Mei ult comes out. Not sure if that was completely necessary, as they'd already taken down Panda, and King's Throw still did not have Alfredo back. But, I mean, better safe than sorry, I guess, and they're moving up, taking a lot of space now from King's Throw. And it looks like they might even be able to hold this corner, stopping them from even the possibility of getting stopped in the S's.
Wow. That's a good heads-up play by Jaeger. They might be missing this Blizzard as it rolls forward, but if Jumpy Wizard's able to keep putting his immortality field and King's Throw keeps getting baited and spamming them.
Oh my. Simple on this Junkrat doing so much work. They even gave him the immortality field just for him. It actually puts it to work. He takes down Jaeger. What a crazy play from the side of King's Throw. And they've actually completely taken it back. Never mind, because now Otter is going to get aggressive with this trance. Down goes Alfredo, in comes the tire though, and that mixed with the high noon takes down 3. Again, one of these back and forth fights. Simple does not care. He walks into the room with his Zenyatta, gets right up to his face and finishes him off. Simple, however, that play may have not been the greatest idea, as he does fall now.
As I've said, the trade-off, the Junkrat proving to have extreme value against the Baptiste. As you charge the Baptiste ultimate extraordinarily fast on Otters, you're also charging the tire extraordinarily fast, and the pick potential. Getting Jumpy Wizard before he can do anything. Alfredo goes down.
There goes Alfredo. Yeah, Simple takes down Jumpy Wizard though, it's even. And the Amp Matrix is on the side of King's Throw. A lot of damage coming through there. Pulse is gonna die to the Simple. He is just doing so much work. Another tire, no way. Cio says no to that and takes it down. But they are backing up, and King's Throw with this Junkrat pick is absolutely decimating the front line of Otter Oxide.
Yeah, Cio putting his foot down, saying no more of these shenanigans. I just want this tire gone, but his team was already thinking these are a few picks already. We need to get back and spread out, maybe mitigate the impact from it.
Simple is putting King's Throw on his back and carrying them with his huge amount of damage output. I'd love to see how much damage he's done in the last like 5 minutes. It must be an insane number. Matrix comes out for Otter Oxide. Alfredo is not in a good spot. He is right in the center of that. Seogoli takes down Simple, and there goes their main damage source and their clutch potential, as we've seen so far. King's Throw has stayed alive though. They're still in this fight. A big Dragon Strike, the pull not quite perfect in line with it. However, very split, and down goes Kirk1, in comes the Mail. There's no way they're getting away from this one. As I say that, they do get 2 kills, but 3. There's literally no way that they bring it back. Especially with that signal coming in. Down goes Viper, or down goes Panda, and down goes Shadow Dragon, and Simple. Viper says no to your retake. This fight is over.
Played all by Chicken. Kings threw everything. They threw the beat, they threw the high noon, they threw the shatter, they threw the bongo at it, and the window, and they got a fight loss out of it.
Yeah, I mean, it almost looked like they could bring it back. That was a really crazy play from Alfredo, just on the other side of the choke. And now we're going into a fight here. Jaeger has taken, or he's used the ice block early, so he can't frontline as much. Maybe King's Throw could try and take space off that. They're holding in a really, kind of a weird spot. They're trying to take that corner. Looks like they're going to sort of make it there. Panda is blocked off. Really good Immortality Field, though, coming in. And a lot of ult charge for Shadow Dragon. Going to come through as he's AoE healing everybody. He's going to get his Immortality, or his Amp Matrix, very soon. Panda, however, goes down. And Amp Matrix coming up from both sides. The better one, though, looking to be Otter Oxide.
But see, the problem here is that King's Throw is getting caught away from their corners. Ooh.
That Riptire was not quite perfect, as Jaeger actually does die, but he dodged it with the ice block. And now they're coming up to the last point. It's going to be really hard for King's Throw to recontest. Never mind, that's a really good pull. Whoa, there's 2 booms! There's 3 of them off the side. That's why you never go on that side of the cart when you are closing out King's Row. It's happened many times. You'd think people would, sort of stay away from it, but it's easy to forget, and they all go down into the depths of the abyss.
Left side, a great heads-up play from Kirk, saving that potential 3rd-point roll with a better time bank, but almost certainly Otter Oxide is going to have a lower time bank than King's Throw now, turning this matchup on its head.
Yeah, definitely, and in comes the Immortality Field pretty early. Jaeger tries to get to the high ground, but that Maywall is not tall enough. Trust me, I have tried. The Immortality Field is out from both sides, seemingly just to sort of block off spam. Alfredo with the flank shatter, he gets 2! He gets pulses down. Alfredo, no fear. He does not care. He's dead, but he has done his job, as far as I know. But now the ultimates are coming out for the side of Otter Oxide, and Panda is getting so much healing through that Matrix, but it's not enough. In comes the Dragon, just trying to hopefully finish it off, and the Sigma ult. There is an Immortality Field there, but they're very low. They are avoiding the spam somehow. Alfredo is back. This is a really great slow recontest by the side of King's Throw, but Kirk1 was in front of the shield. He got pulled. There was no escaping from that. Simple's coming in with the big tire. He gets 2, and Chicken gets 1. This is looking like King's Throw is going to win this map right now. Otter Oxide has to run back and think about their chances.
Oh, the spam coming through, and Jaeger looking like he wants to contest, but now trying to get out, reconvene with his team, but they have only 5 seconds. Can anyone even touch the point?
I don't think so. They will. It looks like they've just given up at this point. All right, well, they have King's Throw trying to bring it back. Maybe a reverse sweep we see here. The score is now 2-1 for the side of Otter Oxide.
Possibly the reverse sweep coming out. And
that'd be pretty exciting.
What I liked from Otter Oxide is they were using the Immortality Fields on corners and taking a bunch of spam to charge Jumpy Wizard's window extraordinarily fast, but just like that, Simple's tires just completely dominating.
What a map for Simple. This guy absolutely dominated Otters. Otters are probably, when they go to sleep tonight, they're probably going to be thinking about that Junkrat play.
They see grenades and concussion mines in their sleep. They see the Riptire coming in and they wake up in a...
They hear fire in the hole and they wake up sweaty.
Cold sweat.
Yeah.
But King's Throw with a Junkrat, I mean, alongside the enemy Baptiste, like that's going to be, if you're intentionally taking spam, you're going to be charging his tire like in about 2 seconds, and it just one after another. And the heads up boot from Kirk, just bringing this time bank back when they had invested 4 ultimates to defend second unsuccessfully. Just very well played by King's Throw.
Yeah, great reenactment of Oker's play back in stage 1 where he booped 2 off and saved the point for us.
We're not bias casters.
Not at all. It was only the second best Lucio boop. There was also a pull off the side, which was that's why you do not stand on that side of the cart. It is easy to forget when you think you're up and you just want to hold wherever you can to try and kill them as fast as you can, and then suddenly you're in the pit, dead, and you're regretting your positioning.
Now it looks like we'll be going into they're calling it halftime, but it's more of a 3/4 time. So we'll go into a break and we'll be back with you for map 4.
You know, the world could always use more heroes. You know, the world could always use more heroes. You know, the world could always use more heroes.
Hello again from Gibraltar now, as we go into this 2-1 matchup between Otter, Oxide, and King's Throw. King's Throw trying to mount their reverse sweep, but they've got to win this map to take it to a map 5.
Yeah, and Otter's on the defense first, able to control just how far King's Throw can set the pace. Or, excuse me, Otter Oxide's on attack first. They can set the pace, and King's Throw can see and get a measure of how far they have to go on their attack to match.
Yeah, and what I'm seeing from the side of King's... Okay, no, they did swap the Torb. However, they are on defense, so their hero picks are usually going to be permanent. That Ursa Hog is going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, I'm interested to see. And it looks like Simple's going to a Bastion. So they are clearly, King's Throw, I think, are looking out for a dive with the Hog and the Bastion. And they're switching to a Sigma now.
Yeah, they seem like they're kind of discussing it. If there was a Hog with a Bastion, that's almost no shielding at all. But you also don't really want a Lucio with a Bastion because that doesn't really help him at all either. It's gonna be an interesting one for sure.
Definitely seems like King's Throw is wanting to stop the dive from Otter Oxide that got them so split up on Gibraltar, or not Gibraltar, Horizon Lunar Colony.
Stop the payload.
And they finally all make it up to the high ground. They were attempting to do the jump quite a few times. They do make it before they get dove on. And we're looking at a cyber dive from the side of Otter Oxide. That's going to be definitely interesting to see.
This doesn't bode well for King's Throw.
It's still viable. And it looks like they're not going to even bother. They're just going to go right under. Which is
just getting card distances, Otter Oxide, not really playing the shenanigans of attacking the Bastion.
But here comes Pulse. He's going to dive in right onto the Bastion. Bastion is not behind the shield. He's also not in the Amp Matrix. He does take down Pulse, though. And despite Jaeger's best efforts to kill that Bastion, he's somehow lived through that. Like, he was not behind the shield at all, or in the Immortality field.
Jaeger was the only one shooting him, Laser. So that's all that she wrote for that one, is that the focus fire has to be on the Bastion, especially since the Immortality field wasn't covering him and no shields.
Yeah, when a Bastion's exposed like that, you do not want to give up the opportunity to take him down. That is the centerpiece of their composition. That is really the main thing that they're going off of. So if you can take that down, you can kind of nullify the rest.
Now you see King's Throw positioning far, far back, not wanting to risk being in a terrible dive position as they were in the last fight.
And Sio's in the back. It looks like he might be either trying to go for a hack, but that's going to be difficult with the position that King's Throw is in. They are all the way in the back, not trying to take any close-up fight. Pulse is now on. They are on the Orisa Sigma now, so they don't have dive anymore. Sio has been revealed. He's been flashed. He is actually going to escape. So he is still alive, but right now he's doing nothing as he's trying to get back into the fight. He still is only 60 to that EMP. And it looks like Kingstar is transitioning. Simple has a Discord on him. He's not in the immortality field. He is antied. He's gonna go down. That was seemed like he jumped just a bit too far and got out of the matrix. And that big anti really helping them just finish everybody off on the side of King's Throw.
That's the issue. The opening for the anti-nade from Jumpy Wizard was found whenever they just started forcing the cart forward. It's like Otter Oxide saying, okay, you're gonna hold back. We're just gonna push the cart. That's the objective of the game, is to push the cart. So that's exactly what we're going to do. And
what I don't like what I'm seeing right now is that Panda and Chicken are in there, and they're not trying to get out or die. They're trying to escape with their lives, which is not going to work ever. And it's been a long time since we've seen a Diva Stagger, but there you go.
Here it is, folks. Classic Diva Stagger, and Panda's not going to be happy about that as Otter's rolling in with 4 minutes, halfway through second, basically getting this far for free.
Simple is going in really deep with that Bastional. I'm not quite sure about that one, but didn't seem to work out as he exactly planned. He comes in Bongo Nano Blade, gonna absolutely shred through everything. He is not killing the immortality field though, and I think that might have been an oversight. Here goes Alfredo though, and even though the blade was a bit botched, it looks like the amount of ultimates that Otter Oxide had, paired with the fact that the Bastion on the side of King's Throw had died earlier, they're going to take that point, and they have 5 minutes going into third.
Just a completely staggered fight, not even a real contest on the second objective, and still resetting. King's Throw probably looking to hold this corner, but it's a high noon and window match only with Transcendence and Gravitic Flux.
Yeah, and Kirkwan's just coming up on that beat now. Actually, King's Throw getting 3 ults at about the same time. Jaeger's in the back. He's going to have trouble with this McCree, though. He's going to try not to get flashed. He's just kind of poking from a distance, exerting that pressure from behind. Simple is hacked in the front line as May. He has, though, no means to save himself. Pulse goes down, though, and that's not going to look good for King's Throw. There goes their main front line, and they're just going to try and slowly back up, try and get out, stay alive. CO Gully is 50 to that EMP after using it last fight, so he's just going to try and maybe farm that and get the next fight off that for free. And that's really not going to help there. They just cannot escape this corridor that they're in. And the more members they lose, the worse it's going to get for them.
Otters need to use Viper to get them out of here. And with that, it allows King's Throw to kind of get the ultimates back in their favor. Transcendence is very good for helping them push. Whereas, Jaeger up top.
Yeah, Jaeger's taking a 1v1 with Shadow Dragon. He does get both of the cooldowns out from the Baptiste. I'd say that's pretty worth it. Out comes the ultimate ability, though. And an immediate response from Otter Oxide just to use Trance. They do not want to take any of that damage, but it does not matter. A full Fire Strike coming out, as well as a headshot on the Jaeger, just absolutely demolishing them through the Transcendence.
Here's with the synergy with Pole starts coming in. Panda and Alfredo seeming to work a lot better in tandem now with the Pole Fire Strike window. Getting 2 picks, ending that fight early. The Transcendence is now gone, and the ultimate economy is completely flipped.
Yeah, so really just trying to get that last percentage for that EMP he is coming up on now.
King's Throw has to know that the EMP is coming up.
They have to save that. They have to get their Baptiste to hide, or they have to get their Lucio to hide, and they just need to keep somebody that can save them from this EMP. CO, where is he? Right. It looks like they're going for the signal first. Chicken gets taken down. They might not even need the EMP. It looks like they're not even going to go for it. And he gets... Is that a stun out of the male? I'm pretty sure.
That's a stun out of the male.
And there goes the EMP saying, no, your beat does not matter. It is completely gone. And maybe that was the play there, just waiting to use them to use beat to use the EMP, assuring that fight win. Kirkwan doing a really good job of stalling the cart so that his team can get back. But with the bongo there, everybody that's going to try to recontest is going to get demolished. Freyo tries to go for the shatter. Simple is trying to go for something with the Doomfist. But with that amount of ultimates, there's no way they're recontesting.
Oh, and the sad thing is that the proactive use of ultimates from Otter is just completely rolled that fight in a very winnable ultimate situation, don't you think?
Yeah, because I think one of the supports may have been hiding from the for the EMP, but when the Sigma comes out, you kind of need one of your supports to step in and save the team. And it looks like one of the members went down while up in the air, and that really just started to snowball the fight from there.
Kirk was waiting in the back, not smartly, I think, not using his beat to come in on the back of the Flux, but it had to come out earlier than that because people, there's a sweet spot in the middle where you have to use it. when the fight
At
starts
that
turning
point,
for the worse.
once you lose somebody like that, you just have to go all in aggression. You cannot let Otters have their way, especially when they have EMP. You just got to go in and hope for the best.
Ready for battle.
Yeah. Otter's 2 minutes and 13 seconds on their attack. So King's Throw is a fairly high mark, thanks to the play that started it all, I think, on Otter's dive out first.
Attackers
Just pushing the cart and forcing
30 seconds.
the rotation and the swaps, more importantly, to just snowball the entirety of second. That's why the time bank is as high as it is. Now King's Throw has to match, and it looks like they're going for a Genji and Doomfist dive with the Ana Lucio. So more carry plays.
Yeah, definitely. And King's Throw's comp is sort of like a burst dive. I might even like to see the ball more than the Diva here to go along with the Doomfist pick. Less sustained damage, more just all out. Genji, you know, he runs in, Doomfist slams in, Monkey comes in, ball slams in. I think that would do a really good job against the Otters here. Otters are going for the same place that King's Throw was going, which didn't really seem to work for them. They kind of just had to back up once the card got pushed, which is looking like the same thing that's going to happen here. Kind of a sort of pointless place to hold. Get some ultimates, I guess, but now
yeah, what King's Throw just wants to do is do exactly what Otters did, just pull the no-you card and just start pushing the cart. But here's where it gets difficult. Otters putting their foot down early.
Yeah, Otter's going to drop down, making sure that they don't get caught on that transition. And with the tanks on the low ground, Alfredo just gets rocked and destroyed. Winston, not nearly as sustainable as a Orisa or a Sigma. And it looks like if they're going to be trying to go low ground like that, they might just want to swap to an Orisa and Sigma.
Yeah, exactly. When I'm seeing dive, I'm gonna want King's Throw to be going up top whenever Otters drop.
And a really early nano comes in on Simple, hoping to get something done. He charges in. He's going in as deep as he can with that nano, and he's trying to build up that lead. He's 81 too. He was 50 a second ago, so he got a lot of damage done. But there goes Shadow Dragon as he gets taken down, and it looks like King's Throw is gonna have to go back spawn once more.
And I think Shadow Dragon missed his nano target. Perhaps he wanted to nano Alfredo instead, but it targeted Simple, and he built up a little bit more blade percentage from 70 to 90, but it's going to be another fight loss for King's Throw. And Otter Oxide rolling up on 5 ultimates here.
Yeah, definitely. And like, even if you build blade off of that, you're not going to have nano for the blade, so the blade is going to be really hard to get value, especially when there's a May.
Roadhog.
Oh, they have. Okay, I guess they're going full picks now. They're getting desperate, and here comes Chicken onto the high ground. The Immortality field is kind of used, but nobody's really standing in it. Alfredo is alone, and in comes the blade. I can't. He's actually. Whoa, okay. Simple, as usual, is bringing the fight back solely. Kanda also gets a kill onto Seo Gully, but Simple is really being the clutch factor that King's Throw needs in these fights.
Disgusting play by Simple. Just completely abusing the fact that Orisa Sigma has to stick together. And once that Immortality field's gone, no beat for Otter Oxide. It's over when the blade's out.
Against all odds, into a Mei, into Orisa, into Sigma, into Baptiste, he gets kills with the Naked Blade. And a nice beat to counter the Sigma ult from the side of Otters. But so many ults coming out from Otters. It's actually surprising that Alfredo is still alive. They're trying to keep him up with as much as they can, but the nano, even that is not enough, as he is frozen for the entire duration of Blizzard, and then as soon as he gets out, he just gets burst down.
What a testament to Otter Oxide's focus fire and ability to come back in on such a staggered fight. Like, killing Alfredo when he's nanoed like that, and it just melting him, absolutely, and the picks just still going their way. Really good focus fire from Otters, and grit to come back in on that fight.
Otter Oxide looking really strong in this defense. King's Throw is going to be looking at either 1 or 2 fights, depending on how fast they're going. It was looking like 1 as they're taking their time. They want to make this fight a win. They don't want a sloppy second fight, and they're taking the high ground right now. They're transitioning across here. They're going to try and get a pick. In comes the Dragon. And that's big because the side of King's Throw has no Baptiste. However, it only zones a bit, and they back up. Shinky is waiting behind. He tries to boot them off, but he only gets the Lucio, which he was able to just wall ride back up. An Immortality field in the back for Otter Oxide. That might have been a bit premature, but now comes the Amp Matrix. Alfredo is taking a lot of that damage right to the face. Seo Gully goes down to the side of Chicken though, and Alfredo does to get taken out eventually. Gets the Rhine down. Chicken comes in with the Meteor Strike, but he's getting frozen up. He is frozen, but he is flying, so nobody can hit him. And this fight really could go both ways. Jumpy Wizard is antied, Here comes the Immortality Field to try and save them. Chicken is trying to do as much damage as he can. He is getting work done. Kirk 1 goes down, though, for the side of King's Throw. And now Panda goes down, and this might be the end for King's Throw.
Ooh, it's coming down to it, but unfortunately, it looks like King's Throw, Alfredo is their last hope. And just as it was on Horizon, this is over. Congratulations to Otter Oxide for taking this one 3-1, but those last fights, just so turnable for King's Throw. But the Immortality Field just kept them up whenever the Doomfist was just going in and punching people, but always in range of the field.
Yeah, definitely Simple actually trying to carry as much as he possibly could. Huge blade to turn the fight. However, it was not enough to cap point A. And with that, they have reversed the score that happened last week. And they now 3-1 King's Throw.
Yeah, and now Otters move into a stage finals for 3 against the new team, Aces, who completely swept Storybook Villains, who beat Otter Oxide earlier. So an interesting matchup.
Definitely. I mean, Aces seems a lot up and down, but the convincing win over SPV is going to be a really interesting matchup between them and Otter. Otter is definitely looking really strong. They've been getting stronger and stronger as the season goes on. So we can see if Aces can pull a miracle or if Otters can cement themselves as one of the better teams going into the championships.
And on the side of King's Throw, they just got better. They should keep their heads held high, because they got better and better as the match kept going on, just sticking into the fights and using aggression to their advantage. But unfortunately, at the end, Otter Oxide just rotating their ultimates too much, taking advantage on their attack of the Bastion mishaps, and kind of convincingly taking Gibraltar.
Yes, for sure. And as we go into the stage finals, which is in about a month, it's looking like Otter Oxide is, or not stage finals, sorry, championships in a month. It looks like Otter Oxide could definitely be a contender. Who do you think are the top 4 teams in majors right now?
It's a tough ask, because so much has changed in stage 3. I definitely think the likes of Otters and Storybook Villains are still top tier teams, even though Storybook Villains lost their semifinals match to Aces. Aces is on the upswing, so perhaps them. Not to be biased, but I think our team has being the number 1 seed, should definitely be considered in that conversation.
Yeah, definitely.
But, yeah, those are my top 4.
All right, and it looks like we're going to be trying to interview some of the players from the side of Otter Oxide. I think we're getting either Pulse or Jumpy, maybe both even. So that'll be interesting. And here's Pulse already, waiting on Jumpy still.
Someone's just moving us around.
There we go. Now we got both of them in here. So what do you guys think of King's Throw?
They're a formidable team. Like, I don't think we prepared a lot for them. We watched
did prepare a lot
of them, and we scrimmed like 4 times in the past 5 days. So,
yeah, I mean, it must be said, King's Throw has improved a lot over the recent matches. As I think they were last place going into stage 3 or second last, something around there. Now they're looking like one of the top teams.
Yeah, we were really impressed. We scrimmed them a little while ago, and we might have gotten rolled a little bit. So we were pretty nervous coming into this game.
Well,
the game before was also a 3-1 for them, so it's definitely interesting.
Go ahead, Pulse.
Oh my god, that's my phone. So the big story with King's Throw that we had is before this patch, like way before this patch came out, we did a non-meta scrim, and they kind of rolled us with like ball, Winston dive, and a lot of things that we weren't expecting when we were still predominantly a double shield team, and like we hadn't practiced a whole lot, and this was like a while ago. And since then we were doing scrims with them, and we faced them a couple times, and we were generally coming out on our head, but we didn't think a whole lot of it until our match. And then they rolled us last week, like straight up. There's no way around it, and we just had to work with a lot of stuff. We had a bad week. Jumpy was gone.
I was crying in Hawaii when I was watching. I drank a lot of sake during that match, I'm not gonna lie.
There was a lot going wrong with our team last week, and we kind of put it into overdrive and just did a lot of scrims, talked about what was going wrong, talked about a lot of stuff that we could improve on, and I think we kind of showed the ways that we actually improved.
Right, and that improvement really showed lately. Your ultimates seem to be using in tandem a lot more. I wanted to ask you, Jumpy Wizard, a question about the immortality fields, or not the immortality fields, the windows. You were building those so quickly. Is this something your team was playing around to get these extraordinarily fast?
We have some strategies. I don't want to go into too much detail.
Of course.
We have some strategies, but also I'm a pretty confident hit scan player, and if you can dink heads on BAP, you can build windows really quickly. Don't have anything else more to say. Don't want to give away anything.
Of course not.
All right. So how do you guys think you can fare about Aces? Aces did sweep SVV last week, who was the #1 seed going in. I think it's going to be a really interesting matchup.
I think it is going to be interesting. Definitely going to have to do some scouting, but they're a new team, and I honestly can't say that I've watched very much of their games. Like, I don't even know who on the team to look out for.
Definitely, their unpredictability is definitely a factor in this matchup here. And I mean, when we played them, they didn't seem as strong as a team that would 3-0 at Storybook Villains, so they could be on the up.
Yeah, they could be. Were there any really strong players to look out for?
I actually didn't see as much from that match. I do know they do have a graduate on the team, don't they?
They have several, at least one graduate. I know their main tank WM1 is a graduate and has been climbing up in the ranks at a excruciatingly fast pace.
Gotcha.
All right. Well, do you guys have any final thoughts or any shoutouts to any players who carried your team or anything like that?
There was a lot of such plays around. Go ahead, Pulse.
Yeah, honestly, I was gonna say pretty much everyone on our team has improved a metric ton over the course of Owlet. Like a lot of our weak spots, stage 1, stage 2, have fixed themselves. They've gotten better. They've thought about the game in much smarter ways. Honestly, tonight, especially compared to last week, I really think Shinky and I think Viper did a lot to help their mental game, and that improved our play just a ton today. So huge shout out to those two. Honestly, Seo's been climbing a ton and been getting better throughout Owlet. Seo's been amazing. Jaeger, who we picked up in stage 3, has added a very scary Genji to our lineup, and I mean, anyone that's watched a VOD can see that. But
don't watch our VODs.
Yeah, very flexible player. Pretty much everyone on our roster, both starters and backups, have been very solid and improved a lot. So,
yeah, good
right,
showing
well,
from King's Throw as well. Thanks for the games, guys.
For sure. Best of luck to you guys in the stage 3 finals against Aces.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
All right, and I guess that's the end of this match today. It was pretty close, 3-1 for the side of Otter Oxide, reversing their score last week. And now to the stage finals, which will be Otter Oxide versus Aces. Do we know when that's happening?
Thursday?
Initial thoughts are tomorrow or Thursday, but we need to confirm the date still.
Okay, so pretty soon then. So look out for that, and see you guys in the next match.
Thank you.
All right, well, thank you everybody for watching this broadcast. Stay tuned for the stage finals. They're coming up soon, and then after that, the championships. Evan, any final thoughts about this match?
It was an incredible match, and just thanks everyone for coming out and watching it.
All right.
Nice.